living organisms have organic molecules that enables them to live. What are organic molecules? The organic molecules, also known as the macromolecules, are the carbon-based compounds. They are very important to molecular diversity of life. This means that carbon plays an important role. Let's closely examine carbon. Carbon consists of 6 protons and 4 valence electrons. Each carbon atom acts as an intersection point for molecules that branch off in 4 different directions. This is called tetravalence. This enables the carbon to form different kinds of organic compounds with their atoms. The various kinds of species, including both plants and animals, all depend on their different structures of organic molecules. Let's move on to how cells synthesize and break down products. There are hydrolysis and dehydration, oxidation and reduction, and anabolism and catabolism. Hydrolysis, also known as hydration, breaks down products with water. It involves splitting of molecules by donating hydrogen or hydroxide to different molecules. The dehydration, also known as condensation, is opposite from hydrolysis. It involves removing water to make complex molecules. For example, glucose and galactose can make lactose through dehydration. The next way is oxidation and reduction. Reduction works when a product gains an electron. The electron functions as a reactant. The oxidation, however, occurs when it loses an electron and the electron functions as a product. Oxidation usually takes place in acid-base reaction and always occurs simultaneously. It is important in mitochondrial synthesis of ATP. Anabolism and catabolism are complete opposites. Anabolism involves building while catabolism involves breaking. Anabolism requires energy and catabolism releases energy. Anabolism includes, as mentioned before, dehydration and reduction, and catabolism includes hydrolysis and oxidation. For example, building muscle mass would be considered as anabolism and digestion would be considered as catabolism. Now let's look at the 4 biologically important molecules and how their structures account for their function. The 4 important molecules are carbohydrates, protein, lipids, and nucleic acids. Carbohydrates are the energy storagers and building blocks of body parts of organisms. They include monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. The monosaccharides are the simplest form of sugar. They are glucose, C6H12O6, fructose, table sugar and sugars from fruits, and galactose, sugar in milk. When the 2 monosaccharides are joined by glycosidic linkage through dehydration, they form disaccharides. For example, 2 glucose make maltose, glucose and fructose make sucrose, and glucose and galactose make lactose. They go back and forth by dehydration and hydration. Polysaccharides are the repeating unit of disaccharides. They include glycogen, starch, and cellulose. Glycogen functions as an energy storage for animals, and starch functions as an energy storage for plants. Cellulose is the structure component of the cell wall of the plants. Proteins are made up of amino acid monomer. There are 4 levels of protein structures: primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary. The primary structure is a sequence of amino acids connected by the peptide bond. The secondary structure is the interaction between peptide bonds. These include the alpha helix and beta pleated sheets. These are also fibrous proteins such as hair, nail, and feather. The tertiary structure is a 3D shaping that includes both helix and pleated sheets. The quaternary structure is the 4 subunits of amino acid arranged together. An example of quaternary structure is the hemoglobin. The functions of protein include structural components such as keratin in hair, collagen in feathers, storage, transport, channels in plasma membrane, defense system like antibodies, enzyme, a catalyst that controls and speed up chemical reaction, receptors such as receptors on plasma membrane, and hormones such as insulin. Lipids are composed of fatty acids and glycerol put together with ester bond. There are triglycerides, which is composed of 3 fatty acids and 1 glycerol, and phospholipids, which is composed of 2 fatty acids, 1 glycerol, and 1 phosphate. All lipids are hydrophobic, but there is one type that is both hydrophobic and hydrophilic. It is called empiphatic. Empiphatic includes saturated fat, saturated with hydrogen, unsaturated, and pulp saturated. There are different functions of lipids. They store energy like triglycerides, works as a structure such as phospholipid bilayer, regulate metabolic activities such as steroids, thermal insulator, protection from external environment, and vitamin. Last but not least, the nucleic acids are made up of nucleotides monomer. They are structured with phosphate, pentose sugar, and nitrogen base. The nucleic acids' functions are to store genetic information. DNA pass heredity to RNA to manufacture proteins for various metabolic activities and energy source ATP. There are 2 types of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. DNA or deoxyribose nucleic acids has no oxygen. DNA's nitrogen base are adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. They are spiral or alpha helical double-stranded and anti-parallel. The RNA or ribose nucleic acids has oxygen and its nitrogen base are adenine, guanine, cytosine, and uracil. It is also single-stranded. Each nucleic acids are connected to other nucleic acid by hydrogen bond. All organic molecules play important roles and are essential for organisms to live.